Welcome back to Final Fight 3, where we are in a brand new level. One thing that I did not touch on in the last video are the enemies that are in this game. A big issue that I had with Final Fight 2 is that a lot of the enemies in that game are really genuinely very annoying. I don't really think that's the case in this game. Maybe it's because, I don't know, maybe it's because I have the partner with me that they're kind of helping to mitigate the annoyance, but even when the partner dies, I don't really have that much of a problem, and I think, again, that kind of accidentally goes towards this game feeling a little bland, is that the enemies are very forgettable. You know, I'll never forget the enemies in Final Fight 2 because of how much they annoyed me. You know, at least they have that going for them. In this game, they're just, you know, not really that interesting. Just about the most interesting thing is that they finally got female enemies again. You know, I think it would have been cool to see Poison again, since she is, I would say, a fairly iconic character at this point, not just for Final Fight, but like for Street Fighter and just like fighting games in general. So I did mention last time that there are command inputs now. Also, this is one of the route changes. I think you can. I don't remember what you have to do, but you can avoid this bus. So that is a change. This will take us to a different route. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, there are command input moves, not just the super move, which is all I talked about last time. But you'll see me do, like, I guess it's like an uppercut kind of a move where he uses both of his hands. So that is another input move. So there's a bunch. Each character has a different one. I would say this is like a cool level idea. I like being in a bus. You know, I like the scenery moving behind us. In this video, there's another level that I quite like, visually speaking at least. But again, the levels in this game are not very interesting, in my opinion. I think I'm looking at Mike Hagar's move list right now. I think it's called the Violent Axe. That makes the most sense. But this is his super move, which is called the Final Hammer, and that's great. That's a great name. So I did mention that you can skip some paths in this game. It's not going to be relevant, I think, until the next video, which is going to be the last video, but I'm going to be skipping a boss, and I think it also gives, not a bad ending, but it doesn't give the good ending. But again, in a game like this, I don't necessarily care about endings, you know? I just like to beat people up. If it gave me like an extra boss, like at the end of the game, then I would say, yeah, go for it, let me beat the game on a higher difficulty, but it really doesn't matter to me in this game. You know, I don't really care about just seeing, you know, one or two new lines of dialogue. That doesn't really do anything for me. I did just look it up. If you break the path that I took, if you broke the bus stop sign, the bus wouldn't stop and you would go to a different level, which I think is pretty clever. I think that's a cool way of doing it, because the way that I'm going to skip the boss doesn't make any sense. I mean, it makes sense, but it's not as logical as, like, oh, well, if you get rid of the bus stop, you know, the bus isn't going to stop. Also, did I completely pass over the fact that recurring enemy Andore made his reappearance? on the bus? I think I did, but it's not like he's never gonna come back. These fat guys are just about, I think, the only memorable enemies in the game, because I don't remember any of the other enemies. Yeah, that is, I forget if I mentioned it or not, but that is kind of a screen nuke attack. It doesn't necessarily kill everything on screen, but if you get it to happen and there's another enemy or enemies on the screen, it'll at least knock them down. I think it'll do, you know, some damage to them, which is nice, and we really do love to see that. Also, I think this is the farthest that I went in recording one of these games without getting a game over, and that's mostly because I think this game is way easier, but also probably because of the partner. The partner is eating up a lot of lives, whereas Hagar is not. And yeah, Andre barely made an appearance there. He just got, like, off-screened. Yeah, this is, I think, a cool area. Like, I like the junkyard, the fact that you fight him on, like, a big bus, or a train car, whatever this is. And yeah, so here is the boss, Kane. I think it was a missed opportunity to not give him a cane, and he attacks with a wrench. So yeah, what I'm trying to do here is, really I'm just trying to do the super move on anybody, because it really doesn't matter, you know, if I hit the boss with it or not. Like I said, it's technically kind of a bit of a screen nuke. You know, I did say that the path that I'm choosing on purpose to avoid one boss. It's because the boss is really genuinely very annoying, and I hated fighting him. But I do have to say he's probably, other than the final boss, the most memorable boss in the game. But I guess for a wrong reason. But the fact that I'm skipping him, you know, is a little weird. But like I said, there's a chance that I come back to this game, since there's, you know, so many different paths you can take. I might revisit this game with a friend. I think this whole level, round 4, is probably my favorite level in the game. It's like a different kind of looking area. It's kind of like a Chinatown inspired area. I like the different locations that we start out on the streets, and eventually this level will take us up to like rooftops. And it looks visually different than anything we've seen in any of the Final Fight games as of yet. These little enemies are, I guess, kind of memorable too, but again, it's just because they're annoying. And an enemy like this was in the second game too, I think. They would just jump on you. And Lucia is just like, she's having some issues here. She's just trying to like leave. Yeah, she just keeps trying to leave. What is she doing? The backdash move that Hagar has in this game is very, very useful. I really like that attack quite a bit. So, a game in this genre just got announced like a couple days ago from when I'm recording this. It's the new Ninja Turtles game, and it looks great. Like, I'm glad that they're using sprites and they're not doing like 3D models, and it just looks really good. That in combo with like the Scott Pilgrim game getting re-released and the Ghosts and Goblins game coming out, I feel like 2D, I mean, it's not sprite-based. The Ghosts and Goblins game isn't sprite-based, but those 2D kind of games are having somewhat of a renaissance. I would really love to see Capcom do another one of these. I'm dying to play these, especially since I've been going through it and playing these all in order. I really, really wish that Capcom would make a new one of these. And, you know, it could be like a super budget title. They don't need to do like a big presentation with it. It can just look like this still. I would absolutely love that. Like what they did with the Mega Man games. Mega Man 9 and 10. I think that would be really, really cool. Like, you know, bring back Hagar, bring back Cody and Guy, and to appeal to more, you know, broader audience, put like a Street Fighter character or two in there. Put Chun-Li in there. Put, you know, I don't know, put Ryu in there. Put Ken in there. It'd be cool to see this series return. They could even do it in 3D. I wouldn't mind. I would rather sprites, but I would just really genuinely love to see this this series come back. At the very least, put Mike Hagar in Street Fighter already. I feel like they've teased it a lot. Like he's in backgrounds of levels, or he gets mentioned, or he's in like a character ending. Just put Mike Hagar in Street Fighter, goddammit. I miss him. I miss my guy. So yeah, this I think is probably my favorite level in the game. I like the background. I like the cityscape at night. It's I think a pretty neat level. I like he was doing the Lion King thing there. He was holding that enemy like up in front of him, which I think is unique to this game. I don't think you could do that in any of the other games where you can move after you've carried one of the enemies. The suplex, or not the suplex, the double lariat move is still in this game. It works as it does in the other games where, it decreases your health every time you use it. And it's really just a last resort kind of move. Which is why I'm not using it, is because I haven't needed to use it. Lucia, again, is very useful for, I guess, tanking hits, or, taking some of the enemy's heat away from you so you don't have to worry about them ganging up on you. And even though I am kind of, smack-talking this game, doesn't mean I think it's bad. It's still a fun game, and I still enjoy playing it. It just, the first one is clearly the best. 2 is a good sequel. It's not great. It doesn't really do anything too new. But 3 does almost nothing new. And the stuff that it does do new isn't enough to, really make me go, wow. And I really thought that I was going to be in the minority of people who thought that, because I've watched some reviews of this game where people are like, it's the best one. It, they did the command input things. It controls more like a Street Fighter game now. And, well, I do think that is the best thing that this game does. I don't think it's the best game just because it does that. I think that's pretty weird to say, honestly. And here's where you can see I finally got the hang of the command input thing again. It always just takes me a little bit to warm up to it. But yeah, then I also started to go back just recently and watch some more reviews, and other people are saying exactly what I'm saying, which I was like, wow, that's literally exactly what I was saying. It seems boring. The locations are not as varied as the second game, and they're more like boring versions of the first game. So, yeah, I thought it was going to be a controversial opinion, that I was like, yeah, Final Fight 3 is not that great, or it's not as, spectacular as the other two, but that doesn't seem to be really that, hot of a take. Now, if I came out and said Final Fight Streetwise was good, then that might be a little controversial. I don't know, maybe should I play Final Fight Streetwise? Because I don't want to let this series go yet, but also Final Fight Streetwise is very bad. There's kind of like an arcade mode. I mean, you can't even play as Mike Hagar in the story mode of Final Fight Streetwise, so maybe if I do pick that up, I would do, what do you call it? The, like, arcade mode, where you can play as Hagar, and it's set up a little bit more like one of these games. And the music is very good in that, but yeah, I don't know if it's worth even playing Final Fight Streetwise. That is just a weird game. Like, out of all of the series that Capcom has that they thought, like, ooh, let's do a gritty reboot of this series, why Final Fight? Final Fight is so silly. There's nothing dark or gritty about this. And it doesn't work there, but it does work. I brought it up in, I think, the first game when I played that. There was that, that fan film, what is it? It's just Mad Gear? I forget, but it's that fan film where Don Fry, or Don Fear, whatever his name is, plays Mike Hagar. It's really good. It's a little darker. You know, it doesn't really fit the tone, but it is fun and worth a watch. That works, but the dark, light tone of Final Fight Streetwise does not work. I love that. I love whenever, because this is only in the video, where Mike or a character just becomes invisible. When I'm playing this, he's flickering, but because of the video compression, he just turns invisible, which I don't know how that works, but it's always funny when a character suplexes themselves because my character's sprite is, like, invisible. I love that. But we are approaching the end of this level and this video. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time for the finale. Lucia, stop walking in place. See you next time.